The biggest box office bombs of all time. Every year, Hollywood studios invest hundreds of millions of dollars on potential blockbuster films, hoping to create hits. However, despite massive budgets and huge marketing campaigns, some would-be blockbusters fail to resonate with audiences and become box office bombs, losing studios millions of dollars. In this video we take a look at some of the biggest box office bombs of all time. The Rhythm Section 2020. The Rhythm Section, starring Jude Law and Blake Lively, received negative reviews from critics and failed to perform well commercially. It struggled to recoup its production budget at the box office, leading to financial losses for the studio. Estimated loss, $40 million US. Charlie's Angels 2019. The movie, directed by Elizabeth Banks and starring Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, and Ella Balinska, was a huge failure. It was ranked as one of the biggest box office disappointments of 2019. Estimated loss, $40 million. Call of the Wild 2020. Call of the Wild, based on Jack London's novel, featured a CGI animated dog alongside live-action characters, with Harrison Ford in a lead role. The movie was released in February 2020, just before the pandemic caused widespread theater closures and disrupted the traditional movie release schedule. As a result, The Call of the Wild had a limited time to perform at the box office before many theaters shut down. Estimated loss, $60 million. Ali 2001. A biography of sports legend Muhammad Ali, focusing on his triumphs and controversies between 1964 and 1974. It was well received by critics. Will Smith and Jon Voight received Oscar nominations, but was a box office bomb, grossing just $87 million against a production budget of approximately $118 million. Estimated loss, $63 million. The Postman 1997. A nameless drifter dons a postman's uniform and bag of mail as he begins a quest to inspire hope to the survivors living in post-apocalyptic America. The film made $20.8 million worldwide against a budget of $80 million. Estimated loss, $70 million. Ghostbusters 2016. While it didn't necessarily perform as disastrously as some other box office bombs, it did not meet the high expectations set for a major franchise revival. The production budget and marketing costs were significant, and the estimated loss is $75 million. The Wolfman 2010. The Wolfman starred two Academy Awards winners, Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins. Despite a significant budget and notable actors, the movie faced production issues and mixed critical reception. It had a troubled development process, which included director changes and reshoots, leading to an increase in production costs. Estimated loss, $76 million. Power Rangers 2017. Power Rangers, based on the popular television series, aimed to reboot the franchise for a new generation. The studio lost an estimated $76 million when factoring in all revenues and expenses. Solo, A Star Wars Story 2018. It became the first live-action Star Wars film to be a box office bomb, only grossing $393.2 million worldwide. Estimated loss, $77 million. Sahara 2005. Sahara, starring Matthew McConaughey and Penelope Cruz, was based on a novel by Clive Cussler and was intended to launch a franchise centered around the main character, Dirk Pitt. Despite a significant production budget and a marketing campaign, Sahara failed to perform well at the box office. Estimated loss, $78 million. Cats 2019. Cats, an adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical, received overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics and audiences alike for its visual effects, storytelling, and overall execution. Estimated loss, $80 million. Ben-Hur 2016 was called by Hollywood observers the summer's biggest box office bomb, and one of the biggest flops of 2016. The movie was a reimagining of the classic 1959 film of the same name. However, it received generally negative reviews from both critics and audiences, and struggled to attract viewers. Estimated loss, $80 million. The Man from UNCLE 2015. The film, directed by Guy Ritchie and based on the 1960s television series of the same name, starred Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer. The Hollywood Reporter estimated the movie lost at least $80 million when factoring together all expenses and revenues. Blade Runner 2049 2017. It's a great movie, but also a box office bomb. It's a sequel to the 1982 science fiction classic Blade Runner and was directed by Denis Villeneuve, starring Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford. While Blade Runner 2049 received critical acclaim for its visuals and storytelling, it faced challenges in attracting a wide mainstream audience. Estimated loss, $80 million. Windtalkers 2002. Windtalkers, directed by John Woo and starring Nicolas Cage and Adam Beach, was set during World War II and focused on the Navajo Code Talkers who played a crucial role in the Pacific Theater. Estimated loss, $81 million. Allied 2016. Allied, directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Brad Pitt and Marion Cotillard, is a World War II romantic thriller. The Hollywood Reporter estimated the film lost the studio $82 million when factoring together all expenses and revenues, and was listed amongst the year's box office flops. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets 2017. The movie, directed by Luc Besson and based on the French science fiction comics series Valerian and Laureline, had a visually stunning and ambitious premise. It grossed $225 million worldwide but, due to its high production and advertising costs, was considered a box office bomb. Estimated loss, $82 million. The Nutcracker in 3D 2010. The movie received overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics and audiences alike, primarily due to its deviation from the traditional Nutcracker story and its dark and bizarre elements. Its reception contributed to its poor box office performance. It was a box office bomb, grossing only $20 million. Estimated loss, $82 million. Supernova 2000. Supernova faced a troubled production process, including reshoots and changes in direction, which impacted its final quality. It received negative reviews from critics and audiences, which contributed to its poor box office performance. Estimated loss, $83 million. Robin Hood 2018. Robin Hood 2018, starring Taron Egerton and Jamie Foxx, attempted to offer a new take on the classic Robin Hood tale with a more modern and action-oriented approach. Estimated loss, $84 million. Gods of Egypt 2016. Gods of Egypt, with Gerard Butler and Nicolas Coster-Waldau, received negative reviews from critics and faced criticism for its casting choices and cultural representation. It received 5 nominations at the 37th Golden Raspberry Awards. It was a box office bomb, losing the studio up to $85 million. Treasure Planet 2002. Treasure Planet would go down in history as one of the biggest animated box office bombs of all time. It had a high production budget and substantial marketing expenses. Estimated loss, $85 million. Town and Country, the movie, starring Warren Beatty, Diane Keaton, and Goldie Hawn, had a troubled production process, including delays and reshoots, which contributed to its challenges. It received negative reviews from critics and is one of the biggest box office flops in American film history, grossing a little over $10 million worldwide. Estimated losses, $85 million. Seventh Son, starring Jeff Bridges and Julianne Moore, faced a troubled production process, including delays and changes in release dates. Estimated loss, $85 million. The Good Dinosaur, despite being a Pixar production, known for their successful and critically acclaimed projects, The Good Dinosaur did not perform as well as other films from the studio. Estimated loss, $85 million. Babylon. Babylon features an ensemble cast that includes Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Tobey Maguire, Diego Calva, and John Smart. Deadline Hollywood calculated the film lost the studio $87 million when factoring together all expenses and revenues. Rise of the Guardians. Rise of the Guardians received generally positive reviews from critics, but faced challenges in terms of marketing and competition during its release window. It grossed $306.9 million worldwide against a budget of $145 million but lost an estimated $87 million due to marketing and distribution costs. Speed Racer. Speed Racer, directed by the Wachowskis and based on the 1960s anime and manga series of the same name, featured a unique visual style and an ensemble cast. Speed Racer did not perform well at the box office, failing to earn enough to cover its production budget and marketing costs. Estimated loss, $88 million. Evan Almighty 2007. Evan Almighty starred Steve Carell and was a spin-off and sequel to Bruce Almighty, which starred Jim Carrey. Evan Almighty had a high production budget, and its marketing costs were substantial as well. Estimated loss, $88 million. Devotion. While it received positive reviews from critics and audiences, it was a post-COVID-19 box office bomb, grossing only $21.8 million worldwide. Estimated loss, $89 million. Fantastic for 2015. Awful movie directed by Josh Trank and starring Miles Teller, Kate Mara, Michael B. Jordan, and Jamie Bell. It received overwhelmingly negative reviews from both critics and audiences for its lackluster plot, characterization, and overall execution. Estimated loss, $90 million. Peter Pan 2003. The film received positive reviews from critics, with praise for the performances, visuals, and romantic feel, but only grossed $122 million worldwide. Estimated loss, $90 million. Hugo. Hugo, directed by Martin Scorsese, is a family adventure drama based on Brian Selznick's novel The Invention of Hugo Cabret. It received positive reviews from critics for its direction, visual effects, and storytelling. It won several awards, including multiple Oscars. Despite receiving acclaim from critics, Hugo was a box office bomb, grossing just $185 million. Estimated loss, $91 million. Thanks for watching.